Hey guys, how's it going and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at a couple of games played between Karmine Corp, the new Karmine Corp, and the new Gentlemates. We're on Archie POV here for the fourth game in the first series these two teams played against each other in the Coupe de France last week. This was the qualifying stage, same stage as the Karmine Corp versus Vitality, and also the Vitality against Gentlemates videos that I've put out recently. And the reason I want to watch Archie POV, not just for that pinch center ball there, but because he's the new player on the Gentlemates roster. Even though all three players are newly signed to Gentlemates this season, Oski and Nas did play last season together with Ninjas in Pajamas, so Archie's the new third that they've decided to run with for this new season. And coming off a couple of good results at the end of last season, getting invited to play Rocket League by Wee Marky there. Might have to do that after this is done. We're going to be looking very closely at what Archie's doing on this roster, why Oski and Nas have decided to go with him, because these are two players that are very highly regarded in the pro scene and even in the public eye. Very mechanical, very talented. But Archie continues to get the results. He's been very consistent over the years, making lands, getting top 8s, and now, like I said, coming off the back of a couple of really good results at the end of the last season. Esports World Cup, they finished second, and then of course top 4 at the World Championship. They weren't able to play close to KC at the Esports World Cup or to NRG at Worlds, but those are two of the top 3 teams from last season, so that's fair enough. But now that he's on this Gentlemates roster, they've actually propelled themselves to the top of the standings in this off-season tournament, Coupe de France. And Karmine Corp, Vitality, Gentlemates, the clear top 3 teams in this tournament. I did mention in my last video that we've had the Juicy, Redosin, and Mitzer team, still waiting to hear if they were official or not. They played the Coupe de France under a team name, I think they're called Impossible. But it is now confirmed, they've been signed, so they are confirmed as a roster, signed by Virtus Pro. So that's cool to see. I think that team's very exciting as well, even though they didn't play up to the standard of the teams on your screen right now. But okay, like I said, we're in the Coupe de France. We're in Game 4 at the moment of a best of 5, and the series, well, the games that have occurred up until this point are 2 game wins for Karmine Corp. They were up 2-0, and then Gentlemates were able to win Game 3. Now Game 4, very important game whenever you're coming off of a 2-1 deficit. You're either going into Game 5 where you're setting up a reverse sweep, or you're losing the series. So pivotal game. These Game 3, Games 4 is so pivotal. Obviously Game 1 has a crazy win rate in terms of who wins the series in Rocket League, but I think that's often due to the fact that teams who are just better tend to win Game 1, and they run away with it so often that it makes the stats look a little bit biased in that regard. But Gentlemates, with the addition of this trio, and especially with the addition of Archie, I think have become a more solid defensive team. Archie's one of the best third men in the game, and he always has been a very safe defensive player. Loves to just hit the ball hard, get those hard clears, keep his team safe, get tons of saves. Even gone on record, as I've said many times, making epic saves on purpose because they give 10 more points than just regular saves. So he's a stat pad farming, points farmer. Yeah, I love it. I also have a lot of respect for that. But nice play from the second man position in this game. We've seen him cutting rotation multiple times, and now he does get a goal, slot in bottom corner off the infield pass, and it's looking pretty good for Gentlemates here, not letting KC set up that offensive stranglehold that they put on a lot of teams. And that's going to be the key for anyone going up against KC, past or current iterations of the roster, is fight for the midfield. You have to fight for the midfield against this team. You have to be mechanical enough to fight for the midfield against this team, or you are just going to get dominated. Archie looking for a 50 here. Thought about the back pass, decided 50-50 was going to be a smarter option. There's not a lot of pressure on Archie in this roster to make insane things happen. When you're playing with players like Nas and Oski, you know that you just have to be solid, and they're going to score crazy goals at some point. They're going to do something insanely mechanical at some point, but he needed a bit more help there. That was not easy for him. Tried to spree jump, save that. Couldn't contest with the position that he was in. And it was a good finish by KC to tie the game. Just now 1 goal away from winning this first series against Gentlemates. Nas with the ceiling drop down pass. Archie going to take it down. Very difficult player to get the ball past is Archie. I think he's very good at giving his teammates space on the pitch. Why he's so easy to play with, why he's been so effective on so many different rosters in the open era of Rocket League, going all the way back into the online era, where he was getting top 4s, even top 2s with top blokes. Nice defensive work on the backboard again by Archie. Final 15 seconds of the game. And we will be heading to overtime. Unless they can get a last second goal here. Nas has to be careful. A lot of time needing to be wasted. Still, even in the closing seconds, can't make one wrong touch. Atto now looking threatening. Reset. Past one. Oski makes sure not to get dunked on. The former teammates battling in the air once again. But Matira is shut down by a couple players, and it is going to be an overtime in this first game. This is an insane overtime. We're going to go ahead and spoil that. Hopefully you guys don't mind. I know some of you are saying, no, don't spoil, but these games are, you know, just about a week old, just under a week old. So I will be talking about them as not as if they're happening right now, because they're not. These are replays. And another reminder, of course, that the actual LAN finals of this event is going to be November 1st. I'm not affiliated with the event in any way. I just think it's pretty cool. So I thought I'd let you guys know when it's going to happen. Put a link in the description to where you can watch the rest of the games and where I imagine the LAN finals will be broadcasted from. Like I said, though, I'm not affiliated with it. I'm just assuming. And still, yes, we are putting out our NRG Worlds winning review. I'm going to keep saying it because so many people keep asking, where's the NRG winning review? We're putting in the Next Rank YouTube channel, link in description for that, and all the other Next Rank links, Discord, the course itself. But yes, that is going to be myself and Jack's review on NRG's Worlds win. Be sure to check it out. We don't upload as frequently on that channel, but we're very happy with the video. It's going to be coming out very soon. So, a minute into OT now. Atto just keeping the ball close to the backboard. Something you guys could take away from pro play these days and try to add into your own game, whether it's 2s or 3s, is just putting the ball in positions where shots are not possible. That's the theme that you're going to see with all the world-class defenses in Rocket League at the moment. Trying to keep the ball in the back corner, trying to keep the ball next to the back wall in defense. It's better to do that, even if it does mean putting the ball closer technically to your goal. Gentlemates, would be wonderful to see them doing well in the next season. I think everybody just wants to see, all the neutral fans just want to see, maybe I'm wrong, but I personally want to see them doing well, just because I would love to see that rivalry with KC, the blue wall against the green suits. I think it is the green suits that they're called, isn't it? Not sure why, because obviously they've got a big pink brand, but maybe they used to be green before they were in Rocket League. Oh, that could have been game. Nas knew it was off the post, but he couldn't have got back and saved it if it wasn't. Oski now pouncing on the centre ball. Vatira does well to get up for it. Archie going to keep it active in the middle, but they're reading each other very well right now. Karmine Corp and Gentlemates just trading touches. 2 minutes into this overtime. Remember, Karmine Corp had that monstrous long overtime against Vitality in this same tournament. This one heading in that direction. In a game 4 reverse sweep attempt, I'll remind you. The Gentlemates are currently attempted. This being a group stage, there's never really any question of whether these teams would make it out of the groups and into the LAN finals, but you'd think that there was a more cutthroat format on show with how closely these teams are playing the midfield and how carefully, how cautiously they are moving into it. First tournament with your new team, you always want it to be a good one. Atto looking for a triple touch, was it a quad touch? I lost count. Off the backboard there with a reset thrown in the middle. This is where KC do their best work, and Nas has blundered. He's missed the ball in a key position. Luckily has enough boost and enough time to get back behind it, courtesy of Archie, who's now just trying to get goal side. Again, that same style of attempted interception that he went for earlier on. It's an awkward position trying to play off your backboard and get a 50-50. Very easy to go too high, but he's making sure to stay low on it so that he's forcing the opponents to go over it. Even when you're right next to your goal, right next to the backboard, like I previously mentioned, that's what you want to be doing. You want to be forcing the opponents up in the air, not down. Somebody dunks you underneath your car in that position. It could just be straight in your net or onto the goal line. Almost 4 minutes into OT. KC able to apply pressure once again, but is it real pressure? Are Gentlemates actually feeling any pressure at the moment? Or are they just happy to be in that defensive position? Can they be one of those teams who can survive in these positions for extended periods of time without double committing, without triple committing, without making bad touches? It's a great 50 back there by KC. Juicy steals Archie's boost away. Archie decided not to go for the midfield, looking for more. Looked like the mid boost 100 was also gone. Just again, looking for that hard clear, something he will always look to do. Just buy his teammates time, buy himself time as well to get back in play on the small pads for a bit. And now an aggressive 50-50 when it was a 2v1 just for a moment. It's risk versus reward for this Gentlemates team. Not forcing the issue. They're waiting for a numbers advantage. They're waiting for an opportunity to capitalize on an opening. Those are pretty rare against teams of KC's caliber. But if you're patient enough, they can come. 5 minutes OT. 2 games in 1. Archie again with a good read as the ball bounces over his head off his own backboard. They're having to play very carefully at the moment. Oh, Oski crept forward in the near post. That could have been a critical mistake. Luckily, the ball did go harmlessly across the backboard. Archie gets caught mid-flip, gets demoed. Easiest place to demo anyone, even pro players, when they're mid-flip and they can't make any more adjustments. Archie now looking to accelerate the play. Always using the ceiling, always using the curves to create bounces that are more difficult to read. Didn't work on that occasion, but the idea is there. Vatira with a bit more of a scenic route than KC are more known for. What a touch that is from Archie. I mean, he just continues to have phenomenal reads off the ball bouncing over his own head, on his own backboard. I mean, these could put any pro player in trouble. Now the midfield handoff. Vatira half flip catches it. Gets the boost as well. And what on earth is that? He's got a demo? I didn't think that was going to be fast enough for a demo, but Vatira had other ideas. 6 minutes OT in this game. KC trying to assert dominance. Won their first match against Vitality with the new rosters. Can they win their first match against Gentlemates with the new rosters as well? Gentlemates, mind you, did beat Vitality in their first go as well. Lost the second though. Oh, bit of a miscommunication there from the Karmine Corp defenders. They conceded a shot as a result, but it wasn't on target. Now the other way, Archie going to try and take the ball across. That's a bit risky, but it's worked out. Thought he was able to get the ball across and into the far post back corner before the offense could get over there and intercept him. That's a position against KC that you don't really want to do that often. They like to have interceptions lined up on either side of the box. One to the left, one to the right. Now Nas takes over as we get into the 7th minute of overtime. Gentlemates having to work for this one. Archie with the catch in the 50 back to Nas. Not able to control it. Vatira beats him to it. And now Oski in a 1v3. Every single player on this Gentlemates roster has had their moments where they're back in defense all alone. And they've all been able to play those positions pretty well. Only 1 or 2 instances I can remember where maybe Nas misses, or that one time Oski crept forward at the near post. But there's always been someone else just getting back in the nick of time to help out. It's creative by Juicy, ceiling double, but couldn't get the reset afterwards. Now Nas down the line. Archie didn't have the boost to attack it. Not that it would have mattered. Vatira was up quick to defend it. Almost 8 minutes of overtime now, still inseparable. I told you guys this overtime is going to be ridiculous. I wasn't exaggerating. As KC go 8 minutes OT in one of the Vitality games, now 8 minutes OT against Gentlemates as well. In the group stage, just the qualifying stage of the Coupe de France. It's going to be more Gentlemates defending. Quick glance at the scoreboard there. You see that shots are similar. It's been back and forth. But Gentlemates offense seems to be more one shot and done. And then it's KC who are able to build that pressure that eventually yields a dangerous chance. Speaking of, Archie has just spotted an opening. And it's 2-1. And it's going to be going to game 5. Let's look at that from the defender's POV as well, because that was a great shot from Archie. Oski trying to get involved in the play. And it was Juicy at the back, actually. I've got to cycle through all the POVs. Thought it was going to be another defender, but yeah, he just did not think this 50-50 is going to go as badly as it was. And Archie with great placement, because this 50-50, Juicy's playing for an aggressive option here while Atto's out the game. Could he have gone back and played this one more carefully? Absolutely, but he was hoping Vatira would win this. Not something you want to gamble on when you're third man. Atto playing for the boost seal. So Juicy and Atto both playing for aggressive outcomes there when you're playing off 50-50 in threes, you tend to want to have one player playing for the aggressive outcome, one player playing for the more defensive outcome. That's generally the third man, which is what Juicy was in that position. But Atto got back pretty quick. Archie did well to place it, and that did send us into game 5. But okay, I said there's going to be another game in this video. Let's get into it and see what happens next. Alright, let's get into that game 5 and see who's going to come out on top the first time that these two teams played with the new rosters. That's a oh, was it a replay bug? I thought it was a replay bug. Maybe it wasn't. Showing the 0 boost for Nas, who's POV Veron for this one. Nas in the Octane. Had maybe one missed touch in the last game that looked a bit awkward, but they were still able to get the win in a hard-fought 8-minute overtime. And I wanted to watch Nas for this game because he's the guy I'm going to be talking about the most, apart from Archie, in this new roster, this new Gentlemates roster. Because there's been a lot of talk about Nas. I think Nas, Diaz, two of the players who've had a lot of discussion around them as a result of their success in 1v1. Oh, nice bump there from Oski. Nas's shot goes through for 1-0. But yes, these guys have had a ton of success in ones. They're obviously very good 2s and 3s players as well, but they've not had that RLCS consistent success that you'd expect for players who are that dominant in the ones arena. For the longest time, a lot of the best players in ones have also been the best players in 3s. There are, of course, the occasional specialists like Moxie, but other guys at the top tier are all world-class 3s players. And that's because, yeah, ones is just the purest version of Rocket League where there are no excuses. And if you can be good at that game mode, you're probably going to be good at playing 3s as well. But yeah, now this could be the first time that NAS has got a team where they can make it through a whole season and get consistent results that are at the level you'd expect from a player of his caliber. A bit of an overextension there from Archie and Oski. It's not going to be enough time for NAS to get back. 1-1. Yeah, what do you guys think in the comments? Do you think this is going to be the year for NAS? Obviously, they finished off last year pretty well. NIP. Nice pass. A nice finish as well. Just consistent. No nonsense. And it's 2-1. Because, yeah, for me, I think it is. I like this team. I think they're going to be able to do what's needed. Last season, it had, you know, they had their ups and downs. Did NIP, NAS, Oski, and Itachi. But it seemed like Itachi was struggling with motivation. And, yeah, finishing off the season as a sub, or maybe even just fully leaving the roster. I'm not sure what happened. Yeah, seemed like they just didn't have the longevity with Itachi anymore. But, you know, he's doing pretty good things right now with his stream, so I'm sure he's going to be more than fine. And now that you're picking up on Archie, who's one of the players who's been able to keep a pretty high level for his whole career while being famous for low hours. Oh my days, what a skim by Nas. He just sent it flying across the pitch. Yeah, if Archie could just keep his hours higher than what's normal for him, I think that's going to be more than fine. Because clearly his baseline is very, very good. And if he puts in the necessary work for him to be at his best level, I think this team's got insane potential. You've got a defender now on the roster with Archie, a third man on the roster that's going to, I think, bring the best out of Nas and Oski. Players who want to be more aggressive in the midfield. And Oski can really just be that first man that I think he couldn't be. He's got such high potential as first man. One of the most unpredictable players in Rocket League. One of the most mechanical players in Rocket League. And Nas is more of a, I mean, obviously he's got the mechanics, but he's more of a just brick wall type of player. Just a player who's going to be just, I think, super well-rounded. Just, you know, a player that can mesh well with pretty much anyone and be extremely adaptable. Yeah, I expect him to be the second of this team. In general, although Rocket League 3s is very fluid, so you don't get those roles completely set in stone on any roster. Okay, 2-2. Nas now with the ceiling double. Okay, blocked by Vatira, but always looking for the bumps after the fact as well. He's had multiple bumps and demos at the edge of the box. So now look at the pressure they're able to put onto this KC roster. Creative center ball again by Nas. And what a finish to make it 3-2. Well, how about this? Coming out of Gentlemates. Giving KC a taste of their own medicine, putting them back on defense, stealing the boost away multiple times, denying clears, and finding extremely creative ways to get the ball into dangerous positions. Now it's up to KC to come back, or they're going to be suffering a reverse sweep loss in their very first matchup against Gentlemates with this roster. It's worth mentioning that last season, KC in qualifiers for RLCS, they didn't have the best results against NIP. That was, of course, Archie and Nas's previous roster. This is another one of those teams where they're just mechanical enough that on their day, they could beat anyone and they could be a serious problem for anyone, which is what they were at the World Championship, giving NRG their closest series of the whole tournament. If you want to, it's either that or the Ultimates, but with Game 5 being overtime and NIP versus NRG, I'd probably say that that's technically the closer one. 45 seconds to go. Can they get across the line? Can they reverse sweep Karmine Corp? New look Karmine Corp. Give them their first loss as a roster. Well, actually, I think by this point it would have been their second. This was day 4 of the tournament. I think Vitality had already beat them. Still, though, very important match to all but confirm first seed and to put them in the running to have the easiest match in the semi-finals on LAN. 15 seconds to go. Karmine Corp looking for a way through, but there doesn't seem to be one. Nas and small pads running away from Vatira just long enough to get the back corner boost and barely stay alive, dodging the demo. Always running interference on the exits of rotations. Vatira stripped over the post. The ball's almost into the ground, just barely kept up by Atto, but not long enough. And that is going to be Game 5 win for Gentlemates. They reverse sweep Karmine Corp in the Coupe de France. And not only that, I will spoil the next series that they played, as if you don't want to hear the spoiler, you can close the video now. That is all the gameplay we're going to be watching. But okay, now that you've had a chance to do that, they beat them 3-2 again, very next day. So 2 times Gentlemates have beaten KC. The second one wasn't a reverse sweep, but it was a comeback from 2-1 down, where they won Game 4 and 5 to beat KC for the second day in a row and confirm the fact that they topped the table in qualifying. So that means that on November 1st on the LAN finals, Vitality KC will be a semi-final, and Gentlemates will be playing against 2 Danes, 1 Bruv. That's Edgeby, Tempo, and Acro. Solid team, but a team that Gentlemates will be heavily favoured against. So they should be making the final. That should be I think their minimum expectation of what a final it could be in France at Paris Games Week. Going to be playing up against one of Vitality or KC if they can make it there. Yeah, looking pretty good. I wasn't sure who they were going to go for. There's a lot of talk behind the scenes and a lot of discussions about potential rosters. But yeah, pretty quickly, Nasanoski decided to team up with Archie. They've landed on Gentlemates, powerhouse of an organization. So very, very much looking forward to this team. I think they can be in the mix for best in Europe, which means in the mix for best in the world in the upcoming RLCS season. And we won't need to wait long to find out how they play on LAN as well, which is always good. Like I said earlier, all the links in description, as well as the next rank, and as well as the link for the YouTube channel where you can watch these games, watch the rest of the series that I've been making videos about, as well as I think the LAN finals will be broadcasted there. Shotcast links in there as well. We'll be putting out content pretty soon on Shotcast. Garrett's been pretty busy, so we've not been able to go live in a bit, but that will be coming soon. Thanks for watching this. Hope you guys enjoyed, and keep an eye out in the near future for more videos about the LAN finals for this tournament. I'll be of course making videos about that, and more videos about the Rocket League Legends as well. Once replay bug gets fixed, it has nameplates bugged. In the meantime, that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.